Hello, my name is Ernest Siemens and I lived in Cape Dorset, Nunavut for 10 years. I worked there as a teacher and I learned very quickly that life in Cape Dorset, Nunavut is quite different than life in southern Canada. First thing I noticed as my plane was coming into Cape Dorset, all I could see was mountains but no trees. Another thing I noticed is there were no roads. The only way you can get into a community in Nunavut is to fly in. The third thing that I found was very different is they have a different kind of alphabet. It's called syllabics. When people say it's cold in Nunavut, they're probably right. There's snow pretty well year-round. We get snow at the beginning of the school year. It leaves the end of the school year, and in the summer we can see it on top of the mountains. So you see snow pretty well for the whole year. The capital city is Iqaluit, which means the place of fish. The premier is Eva Ariak. Cape Dorset is famous for three things. The first thing Cape Dorset is famous for is Inuit art. This is a soapstone carving made by one of my students, and on the bottom it says Cape Dorset, Nunavut. His name is Peter Parr, and he wrote his name in syllabics. This is a carving that Cape Dorset is famous for. They're also famous for prints. One of the famous printmakers is actually a lady called Kanoyuak. And you can see they even made stamps from her prints. The third thing is hunting and trapping. They go out and they hunt polar bear, they hunt caribou, fox, they hunt seal and char, and not only do they hunt for food, they also make clothing out of it. This boot is actually made out of seal skin, part of it. If you notice this jacket, which was made for my son, it has a fur, fox fur. And they also make clothing. This was also made for my son, Nathan. You see his name is Nathan on here. This is a traditional Eskimo hat. In ending, I just want to pretend that you are my students in Cape Dorset, Nunavut. What would it be like to be in a class in Nunavut? And I'll say that it was a big surprise for me, because when I walked in, the children were wearing clothes that looked like this. On their feet, they had hammocks, and they had traditional parkas with fur trim. And if you go into the classroom, some of your classmates may have unusual names, like Taitusi Tunali, Maria Shuna, Arnikala Kermikpik, but probably the most difficult name I had to try to practice was Taitusi Huvianak Tuliak. Took me a while to practice on that one. But this is what you would learn in your grade 2 class. You would learn Inuktitut, very little English in grade 2. This is the number 1, Atausik. Number 2, Mako. Number 3, Pingachu. Number 4, Sitama. And number 5, Talitma. That would be your lesson probably in Inuktitut. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.